Today we're going to look at the brand new Kobra 3 V2. I'm going to set it up, do a review, do a couple prints with it as well. This is the Kobra 3 V2, so it's like a new version of the Kobra 3. I also have the Kobra 3 Max as well as the Anycubic Kobra S1 that I all have videos on, so go check them out. But other than that, let's get right into this video. The Anycubic Kobra 3 V2 combo. And if you don't know, we did get the Kobra 3 V1, which is over here, which is right over here for now. But today we're looking at the Anycubic Kobra 3 V2 combo, which is a bed slinger by Anycubic that does multicolor. It's supposed to be pretty quick, and it's supposed to be better than the original Kobra 3. So I guess we're gonna unbox this and see how it goes. I am using a different microphone, so you should be able to hear me wherever I am. So alright, hopefully I'm on the camera and everything. Didn't really check. Yeah, it's good enough. Alright, and what you do, you just grab it and pull it up, and the whole printer and everything will come out. So that's kind of how they package it. So the best thing to do, just put it on the ground. I don't know if you can see me do this, but yeah, just get a good hold on it, and then hold the box and just pull it out. Alright, there is the printer. And the box, we'll keep the box actually. So in the background you can see the Kobra 3 Max. That is also made by Anycubic, and check this awesome Mandalorian helmet we printed on that massive printer. I'll put the video link in the bio if you want to check out the Kobra 3 Max. That one's like a big format printer. This one is more compact, still has a multicolor. Yeah, that's the back of the printer. Take this off and let's get a closer look. We got some accessories here. Looks like Bowden tube and all that good stuff. USB, an extra filament wiper, some filament. Perfect. User manual. Kobra 3 V2 combo. We'll get that later. We got a filament spool holder and we got a screen. Seems to be way heavier. Like this thing is really heavy compared to the other one. Looks like they made it out of metal. Power cable. The amazing filament poop contraption, which will sling the filament waste across your room. Here is the connector for the Ace Pro unit. Ooh, here's the hot end. It looks really similar. I wonder what they changed. I'll keep that on for now. Yeah, it looks like this is the hot end, and it's got 0.4 millimeter nozzle, it looks like. Pretty cool. And we have another power cable for the Ace Pro unit. What is this? I have no idea what that is. Looks like a button or something. Oh, it's a camera. Wow, guys, look at that. It comes with a camera. Very cool. So I don't want to break that. I almost did, but put that in the package and put it to the side. Big piece of foam on the top. Wow, look at this, guys. So let's lift the Ace Pro unit out of here. So now this is my 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th Ace Pro unit, guys. Wow. Okay. Alright. And we're just going to set that guy to the side. Now we're just going to take off all this plastic wrap. So pretty much this whole thing is like already assembled. It's just packaged up really good. You can see that piece comes off. That holds all this stuff nice and tidy. We're actually a pair of scissors. We're gonna cut all this. You got 2 zip ties on the top, and then you got a nice piece of foam. Alright, so pretty much it looks really similar. It looks like identical to the Kobra 3. Yeah, those are good. Yeah, these might have to be tightened up a little bit. Let's go ahead and lift the printer. Don't put your hand there because there's a lot of lube on that. If you want to lift up a printer like this, just grab it on the sides right here, on both sides, and just lift it up. And we're actually going to tilt it. There we go. And gently, bam. So pretty much I'm grabbing the side without the rails on it because I don't want to grab right here. There's like lube on these rails for these metal wheels right here. So yeah, these are the metal rails I'm talking about. You can see the lube on them, and those metal wheels are gonna slide back and forth like all day. So you make sure they have lube on them. Now you can remove. There's some foam pieces on here you can take off. And also take that little tie off of there. Okay, so here we have the printer. In the front, we have a camera connection. We got the connection for the Ace Pro unit. We got the screen connection right there. And then the motors has surprising actually. The motors are already connected. There's one motor on the Z axis. It looks like this guy likes to get caught right there already. That's all right. Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't feels too smooth, but yeah, so you can kind of wipe it off. Don't touch it too much, or you'll have to clean it with isopropyl alcohol because the grease on your fingers will get on the build plate, and then it won't. Yeah, if the grease of your fingers get all over the build plate, your prints won't stick and everything. Like they'll release from the build plate mid-print and fail. So if you touch it a lot, just wash it with isopropyl alcohol. Bam. So here we go. Let's look at the V2 manual real quick. There's that page. Thank you for choosing Anycubic. Here's a product overview, like filament tube, cable holder, print head, spool holder, cameras and stuff go there. Touchscreen, build platform, X-axis belt tensioner, which is nice. Y-axis motor, X-axis motor, Z-axis motor. There's all the stuff we're gonna do right here. We're kind of an expert at this point. Here's the Ace Pro unit. There's all the stuff it comes with. I could probably put this together without the instructions, honestly. So we're gonna install the print head, plug it in, and then we're gonna install the screen, and then connect the motor cable, install the filament holders, purge wiper, install the filament tube as well, install the spool holder. Skip it if you're doing multicolor. Yeah, we'll skip that. Install the camera. So yeah, it's going to be a nice camera on that. Install the Ace Pro, and then all that good stuff for the Ace Pro. And then you can check the pulleys and stuff. So you can loosen and tighten the belt tensioners and stuff. And that's the power on guide. There's all that stuff. Loading filament with the Ace. We already know how to do all that. This is like my fourth one. So just for the video, there is the entire manual. I'll show it off. Software installation and binding. Software installation and binding. If you want to look at that, you can just pause the video. For your first print, other function descriptions, So it's got filament runout detection, power loss resume, vibration compensation. Those are kind of standard these days. Upgrade firmware by connecting it to the internet. There's the maintenance recommendation for the Z-axis lead screws and the Y-axis double metal spindles. So you got to maintain that if you're going to be printing a lot. There's the recommended maintenance. There's more. The nozzle's super easy to replace. And there you go. That is the end of the manual. So the first thing we got to do is attach the hot end. And this is a big hot end. It's heavy. It's got a motor on it. It's got a big motor on it. So here we have the hot end for the Kobra 3 V2. And we are going to install it right here on this piece, which is the carriage for the hot end. And it's really simple. This thing kind of just finds its home on there. Just kind of plop it on there. The motor sits in that shape right there, and you can see the motor creates that triangle shape right here. So boom, you just set it on there like that. But we need to grab the screws. So we're actually going to turn this thing around real quick. Oh, and we actually forgot a couple zip ties here. Oh. There's one. I kind of scraped the plastic, but that's not going to do anything. Bam. There's another one on that one. These two screws right here are going to be what we're going to use, and then we're going to screw into there and then there as well, these two slots on the top. But yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 up there. I think we've spent enough time with Allen keys, so I got this. We have all the bits that you could ever need for this type of stuff. We're gonna get into this bag. There's a lot of stuff in this bag. Actually, we're just gonna dump it out right here. All right. So we got Allen keys. Touchscreen, and it's really nice. They label everything so you know exactly where everything has to go. Like here we go, we got the print head ones right here. Let's come back over here and then find a bit for it. I think I got this size. No, actually one bigger. There we go. So it is recommended on the manual to tighten these screws up top first. So, alright guys, I just kind of had a realization. Instead of trying to like line this thing up, here's a much easier way. I just figured out how to do it. So remember to start the screw going left and then start turning right. But if you just kind of keep the screws out just like that, just put them in a little bit so they don't wobble around, but just enough room to slot on these first two. Bam. And there you go. Now your hot end, it's not tight, it's just hanging on there by those two screws. And now we can go and work on the bottom. Now we can work on these two bottom screws. And it's much easier this way. Alright, that one's in. I'm going to keep that one loose. And then now we can now we can start tightening those screws up here. I'm going to tighten this one and the top one and then the bottom two. And you don't have to go like crazy tight. I'm really just going like finger tight on these. And there we go. So now we need these, the print head cable, and I did the print head first, and now we're gonna do this one second. So there's just like a USB cable that plugs in here with two screws as well. So there's 2 holes right there, and we got these long screws that we're gonna put in there. And these ones are like super tiny heads. Yeah, that's like, there is the screw. That thing is so tiny. Oh, I dropped it. Alright, that's good. It's just a cable, so that thing is definitely not coming out. Alright, step 3 is installing the touchscreen. Alright, so come down here and take this blue tape off. That's for the touchscreen here, and we're going to get that on. See, there's 2 screw holes and then this like mechanism here for the rotation. I'm going to put that in just like that. So let's get that on there. So far, everything on this printer is pretty solid. Like, they use like appropriately sized screws. Like, here's the screws for the screen. What's really nice about Anycubic is that they give you the appropriate hardware to get the job done. And you know, they actually do build some pretty good machines, I think. Really, the only Anycubic printers I've had a problem with is like the Kobra 2 and stuff. Those I kind of had a problem with. Mine doesn't work at all, it's a brick, but the new versions of their printers are honestly really solid. Like the Kobra S1 up there is super good, and the Kobra 3 is really solid back there, and then the new the Kobra Max is pretty good too. And then also like resin printers are their resin printers are actually really good as well. So I have a bunch of them. All right, those are on. Let's connect the screen. All right, the screen is connected. So this orange cable goes to the X-axis motor, and all you got to do is go up there and plug it in. All right, another super easy step. Put that, just slide it in to that slot. There's a little slot, and then it's just a plastic piece that holds all the Bowden tubes. And then they will all connect into here as well. And the purge wiper, here's the purge wiper. So this is the purge wiper here, and this slings, the poop goes here, and then it gets shot when the print head moves back. It's pretty much a magnetic piece that slingshots the waste, and it's pretty nifty, honestly, not gonna lie, but it is kind of annoying when the poop just flies across the room. So make sure you got something set up to catch it. You got the screws right here. There's like a little plastic nub on the back, and it lines up at that hole next to the white one. And there's a magnet on the end of that piece, by the way, so it'll get stuck, but you just pull it off and then line up the holes. You kind of twist it, and then let's see here, twist it, and then it'll kind of hold itself up, and put the small screw from the bag into this hole in the back. And the next screw is going to go in this hole right here. That's going to be the longer one. So the next step, if you don't have the combo unit, you would install the Bowden tube and the filament spool holder. We're going to skip that. We're going to install the camera real quick. Oh, we gotta print something, guys. Okay, so we can't install the camera yet. We gotta actually print. We have to set up the entire printer first and then print the mount. And then, so we can't actually install the camera. We gotta print the mount. So that's gonna be the first print, is that little tiny camera mount. So it's on the printer already. We just gotta finish setting it up. And then once we finish setting up the printer, I'm gonna do this first print and then I'm gonna install the camera holder. But right now, we're going to get the Ace Pro out of the box, and that is the last step we got to do. All we got to do is put these Bowden tubes together, and then we should be able to do a test print. So let's get going. Alright, so here we have a fresh Ace Pro unit, and get this guy unboxed. Got a bunch of the Bowden tubes, and it's super simple, guys. You have 4 Bowden tubes, and you have 4 slots, and you have 4 slots in the back of the Ace Pro unit. So you literally just connect from here to there and then to the hot end. So it's super easy. So let me show you. Oh. So first we will just remove all of these. Alright. So pretty much what these blue clips do, they will hold these little couplers in a lock position, because if you push down on these, you can pull out the Bowden tube. So let's just get one in there. There we go. We got 1, 2, and 4. Actually, I did it. I counted that backwards. Actually, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. They're labeled. There's little numbers on them, but that doesn't really matter for the initial setup. Don't worry about like keeping them in order or whatever. They all will. The software kind of figures it all out. So yeah, get that. And when you install Bowden tubes, just kind of push them in a little bit. Just push them in. Make sure they're fully seated against the coupler so you don't get any feeding issues. But now you could just pull them out a little bit. See how they come out a little bit. Just put in the blue piece, the little lock on it. And you could probably use this without these little blue pieces. Like, it's not going to be like an emergency situation if you lose one of these, but you can always like 3D print one, I guess. But it's nice to have them on there, so they do help. So there you go. These are the little filament buffers. So it's like similar to the BAMBU printers with the buffer on the back. This one also has, notice it's powered because this actually has a built-in dryer for your filament so it doesn't get moist, and has a built-in dryer for your filament so it's always dry, because you know filament does absorb a lot of moisture from the air, and especially where I live, yeah, it's pretty bad. There's a lot of moisture, so it's nice to have these little automatic dry boxes. They have a heater and a fan that circulate the air. You can set a time and a temperature to dry your filament. Super handy, guys. That is one big plus they have over BAMBU, is that they have a filament dryer built in. So that's super awesome, guys. We're going to take these 4 tubes and then run them through this. Should be pretty easy. And I'll just do it one at a time. Just do one at a time. So this one. So yeah, I'm just trying to avoid them getting twisted up and everything, but it should really be good. Alright guys, I actually did have an issue with this one. I actually had to flatten it out. I had to flatten it out with a pair of pliers. I just did not want to get into that last position. But that's alright. Once you have all of these, you can really just connect them up. God, make sure they're fully seated in there. There we go. We can take this plastic wrap off. It's looking good, guys. It's pretty much set up. We just got to plug in. Guys, that is pretty cool. This is the Kobra 3 V2 from Anycubic. We just got it fully set up, and we're about to do a test print. We're going to power it on for the first time. Alright guys, so one last step before you start printing is this one here. You could read it on the screen, but pretty much take this wrench and you can adjust one of the nuts behind the print head and on the print bed. But you can check if you might have to tighten it up if it's shaking. So firmly kind of hold on to the printer and then grab on the print bed and try to move the print bed like side to side. It shouldn't move really at all. But if it does, you can tighten up these screws on the bottom. So that's a really important step. Mine looks good. I checked the shake it, but don't be scared if you actually feel the actual gantry moving. That's not the print head moving. That's just like this thing moving on the Z-axis rod. But the print head itself is just attached with these wheels, so it should not be shaking from the wheels at all. So if it is, just tighten it up. So we're going to actually plug it in. All right, and flip the switch. So I pulled it up on my phone to check out the differences between the V2 and the V1 Kobra 3. So go to Global, English, next. It's going to do my Wi-Fi real quick. Let's see here. Hit wrong password. Let's get this printer on my Wi-Fi. There we go. It's connected. You see that? Damn, I wish I can get closer, but I really can't. Real quick, I'm going to stop the camera and connect it to my phone. All right, so I connected it to my phone and it brought me to the screen. Insert the USB. It's going to go through its auto leveling and stuff. So this orange wire, you want to move it out of the way. This orange wire will clip in right here, and then we actually should have these little like stars. So yeah, don't be afraid. Just let it go. Let us do it. Just let it do its thing. It's gonna make a lot of noises and stuff. But so these little like star things will hold all of these. You just put them along the Bowden tubes and stuff. Pretty much you don't want to touch it while it's doing any of the testing and stuff. So that's why I'm gonna wait to put these on. I don't want to do it while it's doing its self-testing. So guys, we're gonna go over what is different, because honestly, from the outside, I really cannot tell a difference between the Kobra V2 and the Kobra 3. So we got improved auto leveling, minimal installation, up to 600 millimeters per second, max print speed. I would rarely ever hit that speed, honestly. But so look, so this whole piece is wider actually. This is a big improvement actually. So it's a wider y-axis, 60 millimeter width, and upgraded x-axis SG15 bearings. LeviQ 3.0 auto leveling. So enhanced stability, no Z offset, better adhesion, upgraded filament nozzle. So look at that nozzle on that thing. That thing is crazy. 4% bigger. Not bad. So 255 by 260, and it comes standard with a 720p AI camera that does time lapse and more. Can detect spaghetti too. Awesome. So it also has 8-color printing with the second AMS. So I got to try that at some point. I have so many of these AMSs. So there's the speeds, fully all filament extrusion calibration. Oh, you can see it's wiping the nozzle. All right. Fully automatic extrusion calibration, vibration compensation. Yeah, guys, so there's all the info. So yeah, here's actually a direct comparison. So yeah, camera included, better hot end, better leveling, better build quality. It's going to be a better printer. So yeah, that's going to be the Kobra 3 V2, guys. I can't wait to try it out and see how that hot end is. That hot end looked crazy. Right now we're probing, we're doing some auto leveling right now, so I guess you'll see that. Just leave the camera on it. All right, so now it's doing the vibration compensation. So pretty much it is just going back and forth really fast. It's going super, it's super loud. Vibration compensation is done. So let's walk through the menu real quick. So that little object there is the print page. It's where you go through all the files. And the filament page, this is where you can see what materials loaded in. You can extrude and retract filament, as well as please connect the ACE. We didn't even connect this up. Wow. Okay, hold on. All right, guys, so one final step. Just the 4-pin connector will go right here into the front of the printer, and the 6-pin goes in the back of the AMS. And then we also need to, alright, so we just plugged in the ACE Pro unit, turn it on the back, it should light up. There we go. There's already a firmware update, so we're gonna just do it. The ACE firmware update, so we're gonna let that run. Shouldn't take too long. It's already connected to the Wi-Fi, so we don't have to actually like put a file on this thing and then update from a file and all that. So it's nice to connect to the internet. And then you can see the ACE, that just finished that update that quick. ACE just restarted, and now we can see all of that stuff. We can see all the ACE information now. The filament dryer, you can turn that on for PLA. It goes to 45C for 4 hours automatically. And that'll dry your filament out. You can hear the fans running now. Got some Amolin PLA. Alright, as simple as that. Now it's going to start feeding through these tubes and to the hot end. Start connecting up all these cables and stuff. Alright, so that's more tidied up now. And we've got some leftover ones that we'll put in the back over here. And then once you put the filament in, go here. It already knows it's black somehow. Well, it's PLA and it's black. I think that might be the default setting, but we got the USB for the files. Alright, it's in. Go to print, test model, files, print, test model. Oh yeah, here we go, camera mount. It's going to take 55 minutes. That it wanted me to print from the manual. If you want to change the temperature in a preloaded file, go here once it's preheating. You got to wait for it to preheat though. Once it starts preheating, just change it to what you want. I want 220 probably. And actually, since I'm not really in a rush, I'm going to go quiet mode and go down to 215C. So hopefully that should preheat it. It's all one color, so it's not gonna stop printing at any point and change temperatures. It should stay at 215C from this point on. Hopefully it does. Let's see what happens. So you put it on quiet mode. The fans are at 0, which are interesting. Let's see if they come on. See, it's starting to extrude. It's starting to extrude some filament right now. I have the black Amolin PLA as well. Alright, oh there we go, it's going. So check out that first layer, guys, it's super good. Look at that, really nice. So I'm gonna go to work, guys, and hopefully in about 2 hours we'll have a camera mount, and I'll let you know how it comes out. That we can install the camera and start doing time lapses and stuff. Alright guys, so here we have the little camera mount, and it took 1 hour and 27 minutes. Let's flex the build plate. And check it out, this thing is super good. We're gonna take off the supports and see how to put it on. All right, start taking these supports off. Yeah, there we go. Those came off pretty good. And there it is, guys. That is the little tiny webcam. And yeah, so far this printer has been really good. It heats up pretty quick. The quality is really honestly good. Like you can see, we just printed a part and it looks like a finished piece pretty much. So yeah, this printer is already paying for itself. It's already making items for itself. Some of the pros, you know, it's got good build quality, of course. You have the time-lapse camera, that's a big plus. Multicolor printing, another plus. I would say this is on par with the BAMBU A1 printers, like the mini series they got. Bed Slinger. This one, I think it's got an edge over that. But yeah, it's definitely some competition for them. This is the Kobra 3 V2 combo from Anycubic. And I have to say, it's pretty good. I printed my little camera and it totally blends in. You can't even really tell that's a 3D printed piece on here, but it is. And that's what I love about 3D printing, is that this thing is already making functional parts. Like it just printed a camera case for the webcam, so now I can monitor and make time lapses, which is really cool. One of the biggest features this has over the Bambu Lab printers is it has a heated multi-material unit, which is called the Anycubic Ace Pro, and it has a dryer and fans that can circulate hot air to keep your filament dry while it's printing. Another amazing thing is it's got this really nicely designed filament wiper, so your printer will never have a dirty nozzle again. Every print it'll clean itself, which is super handy. This is a really sturdy printer, guys. I believe it's 255 by 255 by 260 millimeter build plate. It's got an upgraded nozzle. It's got the better leveling system as well. So yeah, this thing is definitely a good printer. Yeah, the hot end is nice, guys. Yeah, overall, pretty solid printer. Alright guys, we're back with the Kobra 3 V2, and I actually printed two benchies. One took an hour and 38 minutes. One took 15 minutes. So here is the 15-minute benchy, super fast, random temperature. It was like 250 C when it started, which is really hot. So I went down to like 220 or like 225 or something. But yeah, just that's 15-minute benchy. You can see it's like really warped and stuff, and like it looks like it's kind of melting a little bit. That's just because of how fast and how hot it was. But here's like a benchy that took an hour and 38 minutes, and this is really good. The only downside of this slice file on this printer was that the seams were not lined up. So all these tiny little holes are where the printer started and stopped a layer. And you can see on this side of the boat is super clean, but all the seams were put in the rear, it looks like, so that's why this side has more holes on it. But dude, look at the bottom on that. That is beautiful. You can read the text on the back. I can clearly read 3D benchy, except for the part where the seam, that line kind of cuts it off. Dude, this is actually really good benchy for like an hour and 30 minutes. This was a pre-slice file in the G-code. Here's some better lighting. Those top layers are beautiful. Look at it from the top, guys, and you can see the inside of the little cabin. That steering wheel is really nice. That little circle at the end is super clean. Yeah, overall, really good benchy, honestly, except for the seam, which made all these little holes. This was with Aniline Black PLA, and I ran it through the Ace Pro unit. And what's really good about this Ace Pro unit, it's a multicolor unit, but it'll dry your filament. It has fans inside with a heater element, and it will circulate hot air around your filament. Another thing we printed was that little camera mount right here. So it's all 3D printed. This is printed and that is printed. So overall, I really like this printer. It's good. It's got a better hot end. It's got better leveling, better build quality as well. And if you like that printer, then you'd probably like this printer. This is the Kobra 3 Max. So there is a Max version that also does multicolor printing. So if you want to see my video I have one for that. And I also have the Anycubic video for the Kobra S1. I got like 3 videos on that. I'm going to make more videos for you guys. Alright guys, so here is the hot end right here, and you pretty much just pop off this front panel. I actually used like a small flathead screwdriver just to like slightly pry it. But here is the hot end right here, so you guys get an idea of what you're working with. I know I realized I totally didn't even show you guys the hot end, but here it is. And it's super easy to actually, it's got like a quick release little thing on it. You just like push it in. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, so this thing right here, so you pretty much just move that little metal rod, and then you have a massive hot end. See how big that thing is in there? I'm not going to take it all the way out, but there it is. That is the hot end on the Kobra 3 V2. I just thought I would show it to you because I didn't really show it off in the video. But there you go. That's about it for this video. I'm actually going on like vacation, going on my first cruise ever, so my first time out of the US. I'm going to finally touch some grass, it looks like. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to make any videos for like a week or so, but this is what I got for you now. It was this video for the Kobra 3 V2. I only had 2 days to make this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I do have a link in the description that'll take you directly to the website, and you can look at this printer and learn more about it. Like I said, it is a upgraded version of the Kobra 3, and I think it's earned its name as a V2 because it does have a lot of cool upgrades. Like I said earlier, hot end, bed leveling, and more. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm going to let you go. Have a good one.